We made it. Oh my God. Did we? I think we did. It's Sweet Subversives time.
It
Let's go.
is.
Oh.
It is. Heather and I have had like a fucked up 24 hours.
Oh God. It's just been hard this last week. Yay,
So yeah,
yay, yay.
yeah.
I feel a
Like
little
it's been
slap
so
happy.
like it was one of those days where I got no sleep at all. Like I
Me neither.
literally not even 1 minute
Okay,
because I
you
was
had
just
more.
laying there going, I can't even comprehend the stupidity level
Oh God,
that
I
I'm.
know. Like I did my sleep hypnosis thing, and that helps me get to sleep. But then like something happened on my YouTube because I do it on YouTube, and it
Yeah.
started the next video, and that woke me up because it
Okay.
like normally it
'Cause it
stopped.
was heavy metal.
And it was like blah, 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 and the ad was so loud, and I'm like, I wake up, and then I couldn't get
Oh,
back to sleep after it. So I got fit about like half an hour of sleep, and then then it stopped. So ah,
we
and
should
it's
probably fill people in on like, yes, what was it? Like, what was it? It was not about the other two parties. Um, so what's going on is, so Heather and I go to a sci-fi convention, sci-fi and fantasy convention called Dragon Con, and it's in Atlanta, Georgia.
yeah,
And we go every year and meet friends there, and
have lots of fun.
yeah, super exciting. This last year was canceled. This year's been a little challenging, but we're like, okay, it's happening. Like it's happening, right? So let's do it, and I know things are going to be fucked up, but let's just roll with it and we'll do it. And then, so it's now 14 days until convention. And they decide to do a vaccine and or test mandate for entry. 14 days.
Yeah,
14 days until the convention. Not dog, Dragon Con. Dragon, like, rawr, dragon.
yeah, no, not Dog Con. That's a different
No.
one.
So, okay, so you want to do that, you're a private event, you get to do that, but it's 14 days until the event.
Yeah, and if you remember, like with the vaccine, if they want you to do two vaccines, and the vaccines you got to wait like what is it, a month?
14 days after.
So you can't do both of them.
No.
And
Even if you did Johnson and Johnson,
you,
it still will
no,
not be within the window.
and it's not going to happen. And then the other thing was you could get tested, but what was apparent to me from looking at Facebook today is it's going to be almost freaking impossible to get the kind of test that they want that is acceptable
Within the
window of time. And some of the places you can get it right away. You can get the test right away. And you can't get the instant ones that you can pick up at the CVS. You have to do the ones that are the medical test.
Lab. You have to do a lab one.
And some of the lab tests, it's a day or 2 days. And then you should.
It just depends on the lab.
Yeah.
And the thing is, so since so many people are getting more concerned, labs are getting slammed. So people are not getting their test results back in a timely manner. So everyone's panicking and they're saying, well, where can I go in Atlanta? And people in Atlanta are like, well, good luck on that.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. So they're making it really.
So it's a chaotic mess is what it is.
And then lots of people are dropping out.
Yes.
I follow one of these groups on Facebook where they have room exchanges, where people are like looking for rooms, and there is just a glut of rooms now because people have dropped out so much.
Yeah. And so what they've done is, so you have like this middle core of people, and they're only doing 50% attendance anyway, but you have this middle core of people that will bitch the whole time, but they'll go no matter what.
Yes.
Right. They're going no matter what. Okay. So you really don't need to worry about them. And they're kind of in this center area. But then you have the people on the two further edges. And you have people who are like, it's a pandemic, it's unsafe, this is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And the only way I would, and I'm not going, or the only way I would go is only with a vaccine mandate. And that's it, period, end of story. Then you have people on the other side that are like, look, I'm not doing that. Like I'm not doing the vaccine. I'm not going to do a test or, whatever. Or well, I would do that, but you should have told me, and I don't have time now. Like, I can't get it done. So both ends
They went bam.
are canceling.
Yes. And the ones on
Dumb.
the fear side, they're mad because one of the options is that you can get tested instead of the
Right.
vaccine. So
Yeah.
they're mad that there's even another option, which is kind of
Yes.
like they're just so extreme from each other that it's
Yeah.
funny that the organizers didn't see that coming. Because I'm like, I saw that coming a
I
long
saw
ways
that
off.
coming.
And now they're kind of
Idiotic.
picking their pants because
Yeah.
they're going to be losing some money, I think.
There's a real possibility of that. And they're starting to have some of their headliner stars are canceling.
Oh,
And, you also have people who were, they're feeling particularly cautious and they think this is just a bad idea. Well, they had already canceled. They weren't doing it. And then some of them had canceled because they're like, well, you're not even requiring a vaccine or a test. So they canceled out and they
yeah.
canceled their flights and all that kind of stuff. So they're angry because they're like, I would have gone and now I can't go. And, I can't get my flight back. And I'm already scheduled back at work. And, I've lost money and, I lost my legacy room and
That's sucky though. Getting a legacy room's
oh,
hard. That's like decades of work to get to a legacy room.
it is. So some of them are out $1,700 and they're out their legacy room.
And rooms, I gotta tell you, during Dragon Con are about the most expensive hotel rooms you can like get in Atlanta throughout the year. It's a
So
huge weekend, and then there's sporting events too. So
going on at the same time.
going on at the same time. So people are panicking also because there's no places to eat.
No,
Their bars are understaffed already because they're,
big time.
like all around the country, there's like no people wanting to work in restaurants and bars.
Even at a regular year, it's hard to get a drink in a bar at Dragon Con. I mean, you got to blow someone to get a drink. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
and,
you know?
and that wouldn't hurt because then you probably at
Right.
least get a couple drinks. So.
Right. A little moisture.
You're like,
I'm telling you.
got something to drink. I don't know if it was what I wanted, but
So it's hard anyway. But what we're hearing from the hotels and the main hotels is that they're going to try to staff up as high as they can for the event, but they're only going to be at about 25 to maybe 30% of the staff that they're normally have.
Oh, that's just not going to be good.
So that's why Heather and I haven't slept because we're just like, we feel like we got whiplash.
I know. Like every time you think, well, I think I know it's going to happen and it's going to be okay. And then you're like, oh my God, now what? Fudge. But the good thing about me and Cara is that no matter what, we always have a good time. We find alternative plans really quickly because we're both really good at searching for other options and thinking outside of the box.
We're looking further afield.
Yes, which I think is probably the best plan.
Yeah.
And we have a friend that lives in Atlanta that lives a little further out, so she's got the good scoop on places to go. So we're gonna just go on an adventure, and it will be awesome.
Exactly. So Heather, what are you drinking this evening? Because we're going to be drinking this evening.
Yeah, I'm drinking wine. I got a little vat of wine. Actually, I was like looking at my house and I found this basic. I don't know who gave it to me. I think it might have been one of my relatives. Got me a little tiny bottle of rosé, and I'm like, I'm drinking that. I put it in the fridge for a little while, chilled it. And it is a nice, cheapy rosé and very drinkable. So, cheers.
So Heather's a basic bitch tonight.
Basic bitch, yeah.
And someone's teasing me about my dog vomit comment.
What's the dog vomit? Oh, because you said dog vomit.
Because so I was on like LP National last night. I think it was last night.
I didn't
it was the
get
night
to hear
before.
that part.
Shit, I don't even know. Like things are blurring at this point.
Yeah,
and talking about the regional training and I said we have to be better than the 2 old dog vomit parties. And so people captioned that and we're passing that around.
I do like that you call them dog vomit parties.
because they are dog vomit. Because you know
Yeah.
what? This is what voters do. This is why I call them dog vomit parties.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you know how when your dog eats something and
Yeah.
the dog's like, ooh, tummy, not feeling good.
Yep.
Ooh, burp, right?
Yeah.
Puppy irps. And then the dog's sitting there and he's like, you know, that actually doesn't look that bad. I should probably eat that up again. I mean, I know it's bad, but maybe this time it won't make me puke.
Maybe it was
And
a
then the dog
fluke.
eats that vomit back up.
It's like fooled me once, but
Right.
don't keep eating the dog vomit.
And that's how voters are with the 2 old dog vomit parties.
I'm gonna
So
always
for
take you
me
down there.
tonight,
Yours looks
because
yummy.
I'm
You're having that kind of day.
I'm having that kind of day. But it is a beautiful drink. It is a
Oh,
tasty, tasty, tasty drink.
yummy. I think
It
I
is
had this
dark.
at your house.
You have. It's dark like my heart.
Yes.
How beautiful
It's
that is.
gorgeous.
So I figured it was a bad enough time. So I went into my magical cocktails book that I made. I made this for
That's really
I made it
cool.
for like a Harry Potter party. So this drink is called the Dark Lord.
Yes.
It's all alcohol.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
nothing else in it.
That's
So
all right.
it's 1 part black vodka,
Mm.
1 part
Oh, that's the one.
fig liqueur, 3 parts cream de cassis, and then a dash of vermouth.
And the tears of my enemies.
And the
Cheers.
tears of my enemies. It is
Mm.
such an incredible, delicious drink.
And it is
But
all
you are
good.
having 5.5 shots of straight alcohol.
Well, you'll probably go to bed good tonight.
I
Also,
hope
they
so.
said that sounds amazing.
It is amazing. It really is a good drink. And you do have to warn people about this one because people will get it and they're like, oh, that is great. And they just go, and then they're like, they have 2 of them and
Oh,
they're like, oh
I
my
messed
God,
up.
I am hosed. So yeah, it's an amazing drink, but just be careful.
Be careful. Drink a little water in between them, that kind of thing,
Yeah, or maybe just have one.
Just
Maybe just have
one.
one.
That's always my problem when I come over to your house and you're making these awesome cocktails. It's just like it tastes like fruit juice, and you're like, "That's awesome! I want 8 of those." And you're like, "And now I'm going to die."
Well, and it's like this perfect mix of you get that little like crisp alcohol taste from the vodka and the fig liquor,
Oh yeah,
but then and it really it's black currant, right? You can say
yeah,
cream de cassis, but it's black currant. So that gives some real sweetness and depth to it, and then that vermouth just
yum.
dries it up that little bit so
So
that
it's not
it's not
overly
syrupy.
sweet. And didn't you make the vodka too? Or I think I remember that.
Yeah. So I looked all over trying to find black vodka and I could not find it, could not find it, could not find it. So what you do is you take like those black seeds of paradise
Oh yeah,
and just put like a 1/4 cup in a jar and fill it with vodka and let it sit for a couple weeks.
and it got really black.
And it gets black. And the good thing is it doesn't, because like if you use food dye,
Then your mouth's all colored, and then your lips and everything.
not
I
good.
get everything in it when I do that. So
Yeah. So do it that way and you get the color without having like an issue with it staining people's mouth and teeth.
I
So you do just the tip. That's my tip.
Kara's tip is always like glamorous and like let's do a charcuterie board and like fabulous drinks. And I mean that's why I'm friends with you though, because you got all the glam stuff. So I can go, oh, I love this.
Yes.
I don't have to think up these things. These are amazing.
So I've been traveling, and so I
Yes,
have
you
some
have.
good LP news.
Yes, I want to hear that. I like good
So
LP.
we did the training in Long Beach, California,
What a great
which was
place for it. Oh,
beautiful.
look who
That
just
was a
popped on.
beautiful location. Hi, Michelle. Michelle was
Michelle!
there. And Michelle was my partner in crime for amazing food and drinks, let me tell you.
I saw
Also
pictures.
hanging out at the pool. So the venue was really nice. It was a Marriott property. And they had this beautiful pool area that had sculptures in the water and waterfalls, and it was landscaped beautifully, lots of floral, just
Oh,
gorgeous. I mean, it
cool.
felt very resort-like. It was not a huge pool area, but it was a beautiful pool area. And yes, we had so much fun. We had so many good dinners,
Looks
lunches,
so good.
drinks. We had a really good time. And the training went really well. And the neat thing about the training is something that we've noticed through every single training. So you're hearing a lot about how the caucuses are at war and people are at war and all this kind of stuff in the LP, and you see like all this fighting and bitching and all this kind of stuff going on. But I will tell
Exactly.
you, at every single training we've done, and this is our fourth one now, and I think Michelle will agree, we do not see that in person. And we know there are people, because we know them from all the various caucuses, and yet everyone's sitting and chatting and having a great time and being respectful and being
Huh,
wonderful and cheering each other on and being excited for each other.
good.
So, what you see, I mean, as is typical, all of the ugliness that you see online is a lie. It's a lie. And yeah,
Yeah.
Michelle
Well,
says it's not one bit of an issue. It's not even one tiny bit of an issue.
I think a lot of
It's not.
problems are just because people get mad online at things that really don't matter, or they blow up in weird ways because you don't have the
Yeah,
person in the room with you and you see them cry, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh God, I'm a dick,"
yeah,
But then you sometimes you see the human side of other people that you may think are a-holes, and then all of a sudden you're like, "You're not an a-hole. I totally
yeah.
read the situation wrong," or whatever. So, or you get
Yeah,
over
and it
it.
was great. I mean, everyone was really into the training. They were participating, and it's neat because everyone there is focused on doing better. Like figuring out how they can do better and help advance the Libertarian Party and advance libertarian candidates.
Love it.
And we're so when we're there, it's like we're all on the same team. And it's not like online where you're like, stop it, we're all on the same team. It's more like, oh,
See, we
we're all on the
are.
same team. I love you.
Yay! I like that. Actually, it renews my faith in humanity when I see that people are playing nice together.
And these trainings have been exhausting, but they have been saving my sanity. Because
Yes.
when we go to these trainings, I mean, we get into a group, and so, I mean, even taking a look at just one tiny thing, right?
Yeah.
Which is, are you going to wear a mask or are you not going to wear a mask, right?
Yeah.
And some people do,
Some
some
don't.
people don't, and no one gives a shit. Like,
As it
no
should.
one cares.
No.
No one cares. And everyone's just kind of respectful, and no one's commenting on each other's shit. No one is mentioning it, looking at one another, nothing. It is a complete
Good.
utter non-issue. It's a non-issue. And so like I get to experience that, which is pretty amazing because um, real life in Minnesota is another matter.
But
There's
okay.
still mask wars
But
in real life here.
I the only problem is, like, I think when you get groups of like-minded individuals, usually we can find common ground. But
Yes.
sometimes you get mixes of, like, you get, like, I don't know, like city government, or you get stuff where you get a lot of different people with different points of view. It can get challenging. I mean, I went back
Yes.
to school this week and we have lots of different points of view. We have
Yeah.
like agriculture that is taught at our school. So we have rural Minnesota stuff, and we have we have city kind of
Yeah.
attitudes as well. So it's all mixed in one place. And you can see there's some tensions a bubbling,
Mm-hmm.
but yet we
Yeah.
still got along because it's face to face and it's our jobs. Because if we're all
The
fighting,
nastiness I see is still just mainly in stores.
oh yeah, but it's
People are
people that
still
don't
dicks
know
in
each other.
stores.
Because, like, if it's strangers, people feel like they can be dicks to whoever they want.
Yeah.
I would never be a dick to a random stranger.
No.
I'm more likely to be a dick because I know you. Because then I'm like, hey, I'm gonna F with you right now. and then I'm like later, like, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, dang it. But you know, like random people, you're just like, did I ruin their day? Did I make them cry? I would just I can't see how
Well,
you can do
and
that.
for the most part, I mean, when you're out and about, like I don't know about you, but like I'm just doing my shit. Like I'm at Target and I'm looking at getting my stuff and then I
Get
want
it and
to leave.
go.
Like
I don't want to hang out there and get in a fight.
no,
I don't
it
have
is
time for
odd.
that.
It's
I
odd.
think
No one got time for that.
no one got time for that. I'm like, I gotta
Yeah.
go get cat food and I gotta go make dinner. What the hell? How am I gonna go have time to fight with strangers?
Right. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. I've been living for these trainings. This
That's
weekend I'm
good.
going camping with a pretty good size bunch of friends.
Good.
And I am so ready for that because there again, it's just going to be relaxing, non-crazy mean.
You need it. You need it, honey.
I'm tired of crazy and mean. I'm
You've
so
been
over crazy.
everywhere.
So, but yeah.
So
And while I was there, I got to eat my hot dog.
yes, I want to hear all about the hot dog action. It sounds sexy,
Yes.
but kind of not. Because we know that's coming. It's a hot dog.
Yes. Okay. Let me get
Oh,
my
ready?
hot dog on.
Get it on, bang it gone. Get it
Let's see.
on.
I'll do a little
And
do
this
a
is
little share.
so
All right,
this
let
is
me
the California hot dog, right? Because you were in Long Beach.
yes. So let me know when I'm up.
You are up, girl.
Okay, so in the hot dog wars. So we went to Long Beach, California, and I was looking at having like an authentic California hot dog. However, I was told I have to go to LA at like 2 a.m. to truthfully have an authentic California hot dog. And what I got to find is a lady that will just have a propane tank on the sidewalk with a sheet pan balanced on top of it,
Ooh,
cooking bacon wrapped hot dogs and sliced sauteed vegetables to throw on top of it. And then
ooh,
that is the most authentic. However, they told me there is another hot dog that I could have.
yeah,
Um, and so that's the one I tried. But we'll look at the old leaderboard.
yeah, yeah.
So before, tied for first
Ooh, it's
has been
tight.
Chicago and Utah,
Oh
right?
my
So those have
God.
been my two that are tied for first. Number two is North Carolina with like a really solid slaw dog.
See, I'm kind of thinking I want to try one of those. Those look amazing.
They were really good. I mean, it was that nice kind of spicy and sweet and crunchy and just
Ooh,
everything all together.
good flavor
Then
combination.
number three was Detroit, but I
Mm,
wasn't happy with it. It's a version of a chili dog.
yeah, yeah.
The chili was not good. The
If you
chili
didn't
tastes
like
like
the
alcohol.
chili, I think that could, yeah. If you don't like the chili, I think that could make a big difference.
It was utterly bland. And then that South Dakota dog,
But,
again, apologies, South Dakota. It was disgusting. So we'll get to um,
whoa,
Long Beach, California. So there's a place called
dominated.
Tommy's Original. And really, it's a hot dog or a hamburger place, but they have hot dogs. And people are like, those are the authentic ones.
Cool.
So I had the hot dog. So, hot dog, it's got the cheese on there. Um, not a particularly spicy chili, but a flavorful meat chili.
Okay, good.
These pickle slices were a little odd.
See, I
Now,
don't understand the pickle slices on it. They look like they should be on a hamburger.
right? And
Yeah,
normally, like for the Chicago dog, I can't stand the pickle. I pick the pickle off. I'm not going to do that. And
yeah.
these were like this weird kind of grayish green color. They were not appetizing looking pickles. I'm just going to say that.
They don't seem like that would be very good.
No. Little
Gray
bit of
is
onion
not a good pickle color.
and then a slice of tomato on top.
Just one.
Yeah. Although they're showing like this nice small little one. It was like this huge slice that took up almost the entire thing. It was like from a beefsteak tomato.
See, that's
So I
weird.
tried it and my first bite I was like, okay. And I was like, let's try it with the pickle. I tried the Chicago one with the pickle before I took it off. Let's try it with the pickle. My first bite, I did not get any pickle. I was like, oh, okay. But then my second bite, I got the pickle. Completely changed the hot dog.
Was it good then?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Because they're not a spicy pickle at all, but they're a very sour pickle, which
Oh,
sounds odd again, but
with the
it
sour with the salty meat.
yes. So you got the salty, you got the sweet, you
Hmm.
have the sour, you have like all of those flavors coming together. They don't do a lot of pickle, they just do a few pieces. It was
Hmm.
great.
It
And
was great. I
so yeah,
wouldn't
so I
say
was
it.
like trying to snarf it. I mean, like I had it in my hair.
Oh, geez. I did see that in the video. I was laughing because you were like, "What?
Yeah.
My hair is in it."
Yeah. My hair was totally right in that chili.
That'll be Kara's
And
next ebook, How to Get Great Hair by Rubbing Chili Dog.
right. Yeah. So, so
Chili
where am I
blogging.
ranking this?
Yes, where's
So
the
if
rank?
I'm going to rank it, and we'll look at my old ranking,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to keep Chicago and Utah number one.
Okay.
I'm going to keep North Carolina number two. But I am very happy to slide
Oh,
this dog into number three. So Detroit bumps
ooh,
down to four, South Dakota goes to five.
holy moly. What an upset. Oh,
Next
and
up will be
yeah.
Atlanta. And
We got
I
to
don't
figure it out.
know. I don't
I'll
know
watch.
where to go for a dog. So I need
Okay.
people to tell me where is the best authentic Atlanta hot dog?
I
Where is
remember
that?
somebody telling me once. I'll look it up too, but oh, all beef upset? Is this a
Ooh.
place? That sounds cool. I gotta say, Kara, though, when you showed me the picture of the California dog, I thought it was gonna be like a tofu dog with avocado on it. I mean, I seriously thought like, and all vegetables, like every vegetable that you could find.
So when I looked up what was a California hot dog, what they told me was it was a hot dog with either arugula or sprouts,
Mm-hmm.
slices of
Wow,
tomato, slices of avocado, and then a cilantro aioli.
that would
And
be
when
good too.
I said that to the room, because keep in mind, Region 4 is like all California people,
Yeah, yeah. So they
they
probably
all uniformly went, that is not a California hot dog. That's a hot dog that people who don't live here think would be a California hot. I mean, they were adamant,
okay. So if that's
adamant.
what they say, then we have to go with the people who live there.
Right. And I was
But
like, okay,
But I
so
thought
what
that's what it was
is?
going to be. I didn't think it was going to be like another chili dog because that didn't seem like a California
No,
thing.
no. And so they said, really, you want to get that bacon wrapped hot dog by someone like an illegal vendor. And
That's
they
my
said,
favorite.
seriously, they have a little mini, like one of those little mini propane things and a sheet pan, like literally a sheet pan.
I got to say, I kind of hope that we can find illegal vendors in Atlanta when we're there because that would be super awesome.
Yes. So, all right, Travis, I'm going to look at the all beef upset. But if
Yes.
other people know of
Send it to Kara
what hot dog I should have in Atlanta, let me
because I'm
know.
going to try it too.
And
I
then,
want to know.
yeah, Heather and I are going to do the hot dog, and then we will.
Detailed dog.
Yes, and I will be going to Indiana, so I'm going to need to get that Indiana style
Mm.
hot dog. Um, but yeah, so we will do that hot dog and we will live stream that sucker on our Sweet Subversives group.
It's going to be awesome.
But yeah, we had a pretty good size group that all went there and they were snarfing down the dogs.
Oh, that's not the place. I was
Oh,
commenting on the new ranking of the
oh,
dog. Whoa, because yes, the upset in the hot
yes, it
dog
was an upset,
ranking.
yes.
It was. I do think we'll find a really good place in Atlanta. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
see because I have a feeling they do. Iowa dog, get the Minnesota dog. I don't even know
Yes,
any.
Michelle is coming. So, and I've located a couple. There's competing hot dogs in Minnesota, so we might have to do a couple.
Okay.
But Michelle is coming she's flying into Minnesota before we do the Region 6 training, which will be in Des Moines.
Oh,
And
that's
she's
gonna be
staying the
fun.
night with me. So we're gonna do dogs. We're gonna do a Minnesota dog. I've been holding up,
Yay.
waiting. And then when we're in Des Moines, we will do an Iowa dog.
That's going to be so much fun. Oh,
So
yeah.
there's going to be a lot of hot dogs.
Oh, man. Well, in Iowa, like all those pigs in Iowa,
I'm betting it's going to be like an all pork dog.
It's got to be a pork hot dog. I like beef hot dogs better myself, but they're probably going to have a pork hot dog. I would guess. Sticks.
Region 6.
That's awesome. Well, I'm amazed that there was such an upset. I didn't think it was going to happen. Seeing the picture of that and hearing about the gray pickle, I was like, no, that's got to be down by South Dakota.
Seriously, those pickles looked sketchy as fuck.
And yet, they worked perfectly.
Yeah, they did.
What the hell?
But I mean, seriously though, if you're eating a hot dog, are you really that choosy about
no
the other stuff?
Seriously, no. I mean, really, if you know how hot dogs are made, you probably would be like, we've passed that turn a long time ago. If I was thinking about health at this point,
right? Yeah, that ship sailed
that way. But cool. So I look forward to that. I like living vicariously through your hot dog stuff. So I feel like I should make hot dog art for this next thing. So
okay.
Since we've been doing this for so long now, I mean, we need like hot dog intro and music probably. So I'll work on
when we do the hot dog in Atlanta, we might have to set it up with the split screen so that we can both
like show it at the same time.
Yeah.
And then we can monetize it. 2 girls, 1 dog. How terrible would that be? People would pay for that shit, Cara.
Oh God.
I know, right? I hope our parents aren't watching. Yes. I love alcohol.
Hot dog porn.
Hot dog porn. Well, anyway, is there any other good LP news?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
I like how you said that. No. But that's all right. I'm trying to decide which order to do the next stuff. I have a just the tip.
Let's do just the tip, and then after that we can go to the food shortages.
Yes. Oh, that's what I was going to do.
Keep in mind, people, we're going to ask you how it is in your area, what you've seen. So we'll be asking you to put in the comments what you've seen for, are your shelves totally stocked and everything is fine, or are you still seeing supply chain issues and shortages and that kind of thing? And also, are you gardening? And if you are, what are you growing? And are you canning? Have you ever canned before?
And think if you have any good news that you want to share too, because we're going to ask that too.
Yes.
So first, just a tip. It's kind of a follow-up, just a tip, because I can't remember if I showed it in the first place, these new things I got. I went to Denver and went to Cara's son's wedding, and I got these you know how Facebook does ads for you, and sometimes you get crazy, amazing things, and you just randomly buy that shit. I got these things called Gex. I don't know if you've ever had them. They're like adhesive socks that you put in your shoe. Let me show you kind of what it looks like. Oops, I pulled the whole thing out. But it sticks in, and actually it sticks pretty good. It's got like a built-in sock, so you can you can slide your whole foot in, and when you take it out, it doesn't pop out. And I got them for different sizes. So
but it sticks.
It sticks. So it's like got a little sock. I can pull the whole thing out, but it's got a little adhesive on the bottom, it's kind of washable, but you don't ever have to wash it, they say, because it's made of silver fabric. And so let me just show you. I've been wearing these.
Heather's huffing her own shoes.
Somebody would pay me money for this, and they would be very disappointed because
it's like, what is it? A fish called Wanda?
Fish called Wanda. There's like
suck it in that boot.
But I wore these silver shoes at Kara's wedding, and I danced in them with your sister's grandchildren. And I wore these suckers and got my feet good and sweaty. There's no smell at all.
No way.
There's no smell, and they felt comfortable. And
So first of all, I've looked at like those little sock things
yeah,
so
and
that it's invisible in your shoe. And I'm always like, oh, that's totally going to suck off my foot, roll up in the middle, and I'm going to be super pissed off and irritated.
these don't.
But they didn't.
They didn't, and they got a little heel cover, so I didn't get blisters. My feet kind of had swollen up from flying, and
Oh my God, yeah.
rubbing, and it was comfortable, and I can walk in it. So I say it's a total win. And these are called Gex, and they come in different sizes. I got like
you need to put that link up in the Sweet Subversives.
I will, and you can get them for tennis shoes. You can get them. You know how some people like to just slide their tennis on and run.
Yeah.
For loafers, for flats, for heels. They make them for different sizes, and they have a couple different colors. So you can just slide these suckers in.
I want those.
They're really cool. And it came from a Facebook ad. So I'm like, they know me really well. And it was actually one of my favorite things that I've gotten this year. So I totally recommend it. And they're easy. And they do come with like a little cleaning spray. So if you really want to wash them, and then you can spray the little adhesive stuff and then put them right back in your shoes. So they're supposed to last for like a long, long time. But I mean, they're really not that expensive, so you could.
Yeah, how much were they?
Do
you remember?
The Gex, I think I got like a 4-pack for like $30, which isn't super cheap, but I also got a coupon code on top of it, so I had free shipping and all that. So worth it. I think I would buy more of the flats just because I wear a lot of flats without socks. So, and I hate wearing shoes without socks because I don't like the rubbing, but Gex. And so I will post the link to that in the Sweet Subversives because I was super excited to see that worked. So that was just the tip.
Do they make it for dudes?
They do actually. I'm gonna just bring it up.
Oh yeah, Heather's like, I'm gonna bring it up.
They had some different kinds, and also I've got a pair of gloves because they had silver gloves, and I was thinking with all the pandemic stuff, it'd be good to have some viral, antimicrobial. Yep, they have women's and men's here. My Gex.
Very cool.
Here we go. Let me just go to the chat. They make it for dudes.
Heather will drop that link.
So I don't know if it's my Gex because it said pages customized, but here's. I'm gonna just go to the share. Since we're just talking randomly about weird crap, let's see. Share. It looks so good, Kara. I'm actually really I kind of want that right now. Here's Gex. Okay. So Gex, they got men's ones like for loafers. That's what it looks like. And you can stick them in your shoes. $12 when you buy 3 or more pairs. I think the one I got was a set, the closet pack. So that was $48 for 4, and you can get like a variety, different sizes. They stick in your shoes, and I got the trial pack for women because and that one it's $48 now, but I think I got it with a coupon, so it was like $10 off. So I mean, look for coupons always, but super worth it. And then I got the one with the tan and black, so you can have different colored shoes so it doesn't show up. But so awesome. And then they also make stuff like little kitchen towels because they do that same silver and performance socks and gloves. So totally worth it. It says, wait, keep buying stuff. I'm like, no.
Oh, wait, there's more.
But there's more. I'm like, yeah, that's okay. You already got my money. So yes, Gex. Totally random Facebook thing that I ended up buying.
I like it.
It's the way it goes sometimes. You
always find the coolest shit.
Well, so do you. Like you've shown me things and I'm like, what? Where did you find that? And like Facebook sent it to me. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, no, my shit is all Facebook ads, and most of the time it's cat stuff. So.
Oh, I get so much cat stuff.
Facebook's like crazy cat lady.
you're gonna dig it. Hey, and that's the thing is like everything I see when I'm going through my feed, it's I stop on cat stuff, so they gotta know like what do you pause on? That's
Oh
your
yeah, they know what
that's
you
your
look
niche.
at, and yeah, because lately on Facebook, I've just been watching animal rescue stories.
Oh my
Like an animal gets caught somewhere, and humans come in and rescue it, and this
god.
wild animal holds still while they're like cutting the netting off of it, or the fishing line, or it's like hooked in a barbed wire fence, or
Oh,
whatever it is, like
oh,
a freaking cougar, a
oh my
cougar
god. Oh my god.
stuck in like a barbed wire fence. And these dudes are, and its mouth is not wired shut, mind you.
Oh, and so it could bite him at
And
any
these
time.
dudes are like snipping that wire, and and having to pull it off, which I'm sure hurt,
Yeah.
right? And that animal just like waited and waited. And then they got it free, and it was just like, thank you. And then was off.
Yeah, because it probably is like, I know you're helping me. So if you know, once you
So
let
I've
me
been
go,
watching like, yeah, for like a week straight. I've been
I I
binging on.
I love animal stuff like that. I just I
It
think it's
makes me feel
something.
good about animals and humans at the same time.
Yes, because humans aren't all dicks. Look at us helping animals. Yes,
Right,
and
right.
it's or and animals help each other and weird shit like that where they're not like animals are being sweet and they bring you their
Yeah.
favorite toy and you cry, I cry. So ah. Hey, speaking of humans doing good things, let's talk about the food shelf stuff and the foods that are not. We're having a problem in our country, and I've been drinking, so there's not a lot of food in the grocery stores.
Yeah. So a friend of mine pointed me towards a Facebook group, and I'll pop it up in just a minute. And the Facebook group focuses on, it's called Food Shortage Watch. And what people do is they just post what the shelves look like in their area. And they say where it is, and then they just put the photos up. So I'll post it up, and then
Here we
you
go.
know scroll through just a little bit. And so you can see, like, so this first one is Walmart in Hollywood.
Oh my god, it's
So it's
like
a Walmart.
there. That's a Walmart. There's nothing in there.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
So you can see how that looks. And then this person said this, so this is a Kroger's in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And
Holy
so they're
bucket!
showing what the shelves look like there.
That
But
ain't
they're also
good.
showing this, which is stores are putting product like wide and to the front, but there's nothing behind it, right?
Just to make it have the illusion that their shelves are full.
Yes.
That is not
And
cool.
and I mean they're posting this from all over the country. And you look here, and like the
Oh,
freezer had issues.
yeah, that's like freezer burned
Yeah.
pizza right there.
And but they just keep going. They also talk about like gas. So they're showing that a lot of gas stations are actually out of gas, depending.
Jeez.
Um, a little blurry there.
All right.
And I've noticed a lot of meat shortages, but
Yeah.
I've also noticed a lot of bare shelves in the stores I'm going to. It's not like, you know, Soviet Russia, right, where
Yeah.
we're standing in bread lines. That's not what anyone's saying, but people are just in this Facebook group, they're documenting what they see in stores. What are you seeing? What is a shortage? What's happening in different areas? A bizarre thing that has been a shortage is Gatorade.
Gatorade. I wonder
Yeah.
why.
So this is Flint. Michigan.
Oh my God.
And
Well,
so
Clinton.
they're noticing that in this store, entire areas of the store are empty and are just kind of almost blocked off.
Did they just move everything up front then? So that way
Yes, so
people don't
stores are
know?
kind of consolidating their stuff and pushing it forward, away from the edges so that, here is Ohio. So this was 5 hours ago in Ohio, the shelves there.
And I'm noticing things like with the meat in the grocery stores, it's just what they do have is super
Yeah.
expensive as well.
Well,
So
and I noticed when I went to get shoes, because I went to buy shoes, and it looked like the stores had shoes because the shoes are on display, right?
yeah, yeah.
But what it was is they had the display shoes, but they didn't have any sizes. And by that, I don't mean that they had few sizes.
They only had the display?
They only had the display, and they were keeping the display out.
What did they expect to do with that? I mean, do they
Well,
want
I mean, what
people
they
to
don't
order?
want is, like if you walk into a store and you see it's bare, like you're going to walk back out. So they're
Yeah.
hoping they can at least keep people, shopping and that kind of stuff.
And get the
And
stuff that they do have.
yeah. And so I talked to them and they said they had not had a shipment for weeks that they were supposed to have, like not anything. And they didn't know if they were going to get anything till October.
Oh, jeez.
So,
That ain't good.
yeah. So, I mean, and it's really hit or miss. Like sometimes I go and things are pretty stocked. Sometimes I'm going and things are really bare, or like there's weird things that are bare. Like for a while, I could not get vinegar. Like I could not get vinegar to save my life.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I have been ordering some things online just because I gave up, and it takes a
Yes.
while longer to get it, but I still get certain things, but I'm paying a
Yeah.
lot more.
Oh, yes.
But geez, vinegar. Apple cider vinegar. I haven't
Just
hardly
odd
found
things.
that. Like weird stuff.
Yeah. And like at our Target, which is our grocery store, there used to be like half of a long aisle that was canned vegetables, right? Yeah, exactly. And that's why I buy vinegar, because I buy it because I use it as a cleaner.
So people are using it because to disinfect stuff, I bet.
Probably because it's a good cleaner and it's not so toxic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I looked, and this has been the case for a while now. They have condensed it down to 1/8 of one side of an aisle, and that's the entire canned vegetable area. And it's been that way for over 6 months now.
Are
So
we
I
ever
mean,
gonna go back?
it's just odd things. And I know like a lot of it is like stuff sitting on shipping containers forever. Things are not being transported because we don't have enough truckers that are able to drive it. You don't have
Yeah,
enough people in the production facilities. I mean, there's just like every single step, there's just a hiccup, right?
yeah.
So it's not that well, after this growing season, we will. This growing season is a wash.
It's
Pretty
been like
much
a drought
across the country.
here. Like there's no
Yeah.
rain. It's been
Like
hot.
in Minnesota, it's like, and in much of the Midwest, we have not seen a drought like this since the Dust Bowl.
Yeah. I think the only farms that'll be okay are the ones that do irrigation in some sort of way where they're watering their crops. And yet that will still the ones that do come out will be expensive because they had
Right.
to spend more
Yeah.
time and money with it. A lot of
But you know
farmers
how,
are not.
yeah. But you know how last year a lot of people started gardening because they were stuck at home, and why
Might as
not?
well, yeah.
Right? And it was, people that lived in single family homes, people that lived in apartments. It didn't matter. people in urban areas were taking over like abandoned lots, or like a median. They were taking over a median, right?
I love it.
And so, yeah, so people were gardening, doing a little guerrilla gardening.
Yeah.
And, there was just this feeling of, I need to make sure I'm okay. So even though it's a little bit, we're going to grow some food.
Yeah.
But people did it again this year, and in larger numbers. Like when you looked at seed sales and you looked at plant starts and all that kind of stuff, there were more people gardening even this year than last year. And they
Awesome.
were still going to foodstuffs, right? All kinds of
Good.
vegetables and fruits and all that kind of stuff. And so I've been also watching online of people doing all these various groups of people who are really gardening for like the first or second time. Like this is something new. And they're doing some pretty larger scale intensive gardening. Even people
Cool.
in an apartment, like their entire balcony, and they're doing it super vertically. And they're getting a crap ton of food.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And other people, like they're canning for the first time ever, and they're preserving, or they are buying part of an animal with other friends, going in on like a cow. Like 4 or 6
That's
people are
so
going in on a
smart.
cow. And so that seems to be growing.
I like that.
Yeah. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because
That's smart.
yeah,
And no matter what the economy is like, you need to be thoughtful about where your food comes from, and maybe it's more economical, and you get healthier food.
yes. And it's a really good agorist thing to do, right?
Yeah,
Because when you're doing that, you're not feeding the beast, right?
no,
You're
you
not
keep it
paying taxes,
here.
you're not doing any of that kind of stuff. And you are setting up your networks and self-sufficiency outside of what government can do to you, what
Love
they
it.
can take away from you.
I had a lot of people in my neighborhood trading vegetables for eggs, because a lot of our friends
Yes.
have chickens now, and
Oh yeah.
it's just like it's kind of like a little mini currency when you have all this food and produce that you can trade,
Yeah.
and they're
People
not
are definitely trading.
taxing it.
Yes. So
Tax
my thing that
free.
I'm doing, I'm not canning.
No, canning's a
What
lot
I
of work, but
what
it's
I'm
really
gonna
it's good.
try is, so I grew a shit ton of jalapenos.
Yes, you
Not
did.
because we eat jalapenos, but because my husband likes jalapeno plants. He just thinks they're really pretty.
They
He
are
gets a big
beautiful.
kick out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the ones I got the imperial ones, so they're super tall.
Oh
They're
God. Yeah.
like almost as high as I am now. So they're almost 5 feet high. They're huge.
Dude.
I know. They got super tall. Tons of jalapenos all over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make fermented jalapeno hot sauce.
Oh,
Like not just
cool.
a regular hot sauce, but like a fermented
I like
hot sauce.
that.
So like I'm not doing a lot of canning. I do like for my tomatoes, I slice them, dry them, and put them in cans and that kind of stuff. We are eating a lot of our produce.
That's
We're
awesome.
eating our cucumbers and green peppers and tomatoes, and
That's
I
perfect.
I have 2 little watermelons.
You did? They got those are hard to grow. That's
I know. I have
amazing.
tried watermelons like 4 different times. This is the first time I'm actually getting watermelons.
That's so great. Congratulations. That is a
Yeah,
hard thing to grow.
it
I
is.
remember my mom, who's a super green thumb, she had the hardest time getting watermelons. Like cantaloupe worked really well. I don't know if it was our
Mhm.
yard, but watermelons. Once you get them, though, then like you've got that perfect storm. So now you'll be able to do it.
Yeah. But,
Congratulations.
I'm wondering, like, so are any of the people, in our chat, like, are they growing anything? Did you do gardens? I think Michelle said that she was growing, but not canning.
Yeah, I thought I saw that too. Where was that? Or was it in some other chat we had? I'm like, grapes of wrath, growth season. Yeah. Uh, I think that it's just kind of amazing when you see like all the people who are trying new things. And
Yes.
sometimes we get out of our comfort zone, and then you realize this is something I should have been doing the whole time. And I know with you, like you felt like so much more at ease and happy growing
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And especially during the pandemic, and it was sort of your centering place. But then
Yes.
also you can grow food. I mean, like you can
Yeah.
do both. And how awesome is that? Oh, and Travis.
Yeah. And I used to do more just like flowers, right?
Yeah.
Flowers and herbs. And last year I did flowers and herbs, but I did do a lot of vegetables. And yeah, I mean, that was what helped keep me somewhat sane
I know,
last.
right? I did things outside. I had projects inside, but I think it made you really rethink about your own mental health
Mhm.
and things that we kind of take for granted. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll just get vegetables at the store. But don't you feel a lot more proud when you're like, this is a pepper I freaking grew, or you're like
Yeah.
lime. You're like, this tree is
Yes, my lime tree.
it's like all of a sudden limes. It took years, and all of a sudden now it's doing it. Like
Yeah,
that's
produces
something.
every year.
It's wonderful, but
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta have patience, and that's something that our society we're kind of lacking. So I'm
Yeah.
just really I love that.
Well, and I think it's such a, in some ways it's kind of a radical thing to do to try to grow some of what you're going to eat. It
Yeah,
is detaching you from some of the controls placed on you.
yeah,
So, I mean, I think that's kind of exciting. I like it. I mean, like when you grow food, you're basically growing money,
yeah. Wow, that's a
right?
good way of
And
looking at it.
and growing it in a currency that can't be taxed or taken away from you. And it's also really interesting, like, and I have friends that now they have chickens or ducks,
Yeah.
because they do duck eggs and that kind of stuff.
Oh, those
And
are
I'm
good
like,
too.
could I
Yes,
have a
please.
little foie gras?
Oh, I'd
Um,
like it, but yeah.
uh, and and they have various animals, or they might have like a few of them have goats,
Oh, yeah.
um,
Baby goats are cute.
which they're doing for both dairy and cheese making, and then later it will be meat.
Oh.
So I wonder if this is a trend that's going to stay with us.
Like when we grew up in the 70s, and I remember my hippie parents, and that was so popular back then, and then it kind of
Yeah.
disappeared. I wonder if this is what it's going to take to start bringing that stuff back. And I kind of hope it does. It's good
Yeah.
for all of us if it does.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. And I wonder if,
Money
because I got to
deposit.
tell you, every time I go in the store and I see bare swaths in the store, like I do get these moments of anxiety. And I know it's maybe, I don't know, overreacting or whatever, but I really do feel some anxiety when I see that.
It's not just you. I think a lot of people are worried. That's where all the people who went psycho over toilet paper came from, is because they saw that it wasn't on the shelves, and then the minute it came back, they bought all of it.
Yeah.
And then I mean, it's harder to make toilet paper for yourself. I'm just gonna say, growing trees and doing that, it's not gonna be as easy. But you could
That's
go
why everyone got
tomato.
bidets.
Yes. Oh,
So, I mean, that like did a big boom in the bidet industry.
because then you just wash your ass and you don't need toilet paper. It's all good. Plus, I hear they're, lovely.
Well, and in my city, so many people were using cloth
Yeah.
and flushing cloth.
Oh no, those dumbasses. No.
And so we put these like grinders in the main pipe areas. So I'm telling you, you could probably at this point stuff a blanket down your toilet. And in my city,
It would
it's going to
just
be fine.
flush. It's like it's all fine. It's not gonna back up. Yeah, people like throwing bodies down there now because they're
Yeah,
like
Travis has a spray gun. Little
spray your ass. Oh God, how did we derail this so bad? Now all I can think about is like, yeah,
Watching your stuff.
washing your junk. So it's after 9 o'clock now. I should just point out. We got kind of talking about toilets and drinking, and that, but ah, I think that it's a good
Good
idea.
news.
Good news.
Good news time.
So this week it's a back to school, so that's not really bad. It's not really good. I had summer vacation kind of off for most of the summer,
Yeah.
so that was really nice. I loved it. It was nice coming back. We're doing masks at my school, so it's a little less fun. But I haven't seen some of these people for a year and a half, and it was like the nicest some of these people have ever been to me. I mean, like, not saying they're mean. It's just like some of these people who are not outgoing and friendly people. There's some introverts in there, and
They were putting themselves out.
they were so nice to everyone, not just me, to everyone. So I was just gonna say,
They were
um,
happy.
it was really nice to see some people again, and I kind of hope we keep seeing people. And I really am much more excited next week when we see students back because I miss them.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's my good news. Is like next, I'm getting somewhat back to normal. Knock on wood. I feel like I don't. Every time I say anything out loud, they'll take it away. But back to normal. How about you?
So my good news is so last week for the first time I read a book
Oh, I saw that.
just for pleasure, like just not for information, not because I needed to, nothing like that. Like, and it was a book I had read many times, and I went through it and it was great. And so then I grabbed another one, like another one I had
Good for
read several
you.
times over, like a series that I love, author that I really love, David Drake, love it, or no,
Good.
David Weber,
Weather.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
and so I was like, well, let's try this out. And I should preface this. So I used to read a book, like I'd go through a book every 2 days. And
Yeah.
I
You
did
were
that
the fastest reader.
from when I was like early teens,
Yes.
right? Just, we have a storage, like a storage thing that we rent. And it's almost entirely filled with books.
Yeah, I mean, like when I first met you, you were a huge
Yeah.
reader.
And so, but when I started going through chemo, it just shut off like a spigot.
Yes.
I had no energy to spare for it. I had no attention to spare for it. It was not enjoyable. I had no interest in it.
No.
And it was the oddest thing. It was like someone turned off a faucet. And it was, and at times, it was just like,
Why?
this is
Why
so
don't I?
odd. This is
Because
so
I
odd.
know
Like,
you
it isn't
loved
even
it.
me. Yeah. And every once in a while, I would try to kind of read something. And, if it was something I needed to read for work or, information or that kind of stuff, I could read it and I could get through it, but it was not enjoyable.
Yeah.
So I read that other book, and then I read the David Weber book, which, I just started, and it was amazing. And it was just like before.
You're
And
over
it
the
was,
hump.
yeah, it was like you have old friends that have just been waiting for you to come back.
Yeah. Well,
And, you had to go away for a while, and now you came back, and the friendship is just there and perfect like it always was.
I
Like
love
there was not even a
it.
day missing.
Do you think it's?
And my
We had
God, it's
talked
amazing.
about like there's some stuff that goes on with chemo that kind of wrecks your brain for a while. Do you think your brain is kind of healed up a bunch since then, and maybe that's why it's
Yeah.
starting to
I
be
mean,
enjoyable?
I think it's that. And, and I can spare the attention as well.
Yeah. Because I
So I
know,
think it's a couple things. Yeah.
like with that time in your life, it's you had enough going on. There's a lot of
Right.
stress, and your
And
focus is on
anything that
being
I had
healthy.
left over was just like, I'm going to focus on family and friends.
Exactly.
And that's it.
But now that means things are really getting pretty good for you.
Yeah,
That's really freaking fabulous. Congratulations. Oh my
I
god. I'm
know.
like,
Yeah,
I,
yeah, it's pretty spectacular.
we're gonna have to find more books for you.
I know, I know.
I love that. That's really good news.
And and so I started to look up some of my favorite authors because I mean, they've had 5 years of writing books. So I'm like, I
Yes,
need to
yes,
start
you're
ordering all these books.
hell to the yeah. That's one of the things I know I need to do too, is I need to read more for fun. Although this next couple years is probably not a good time to start reading for fun for me, since I'm gonna
Not
be
for you,
doing,
Dr. Biederman.
I know, academic research next 2 years. But after that, I'm gonna not want to read anything academic. I'll just want to read for fun. And I know that will be coming. So you'll have to start recommending books for me. It will be good. Good. Anybody have any good news they want to share in the chat? I'm like looking to see.
These
There's
poor people, we've
put them through long
probably put
enough.
them to sleep.
Put them out of their misery.
Yeah.
Take them back out behind the shed. Let them go. So before we go, I wanted to say thank you to our Patreon
Oh, Travis is
supporters.
flying to LA.
Oh. Speaking
Pop
of one
that
of our
in.
Patreon supporters,
Yes.
oh, flying to LA. Any tips?
First of all, yes,
Don't fly into.
their their airport is a shithole.
Stay away from LAX. Yeah. Isn't what's the other one called? Is it it's not Clint Eastwood. Oh god, it's some other, I keep thinking it's another movie star name.
Yeah, I
There's
don't know.
another airport that you can fly into around there.
Yeah, flylax.com.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I mean, I haven't done I've been to LA a few times. Oh, I think is it LA or Hollywood, which is kind of the same thing. Um, there is a museum which sounds kind of risque, but it's actually a really well done museum, and I think it's the Museum of Sex. I'll have to
ooh.
look that up and I'll put the link in there. But that one actually is worth going to. I like to look at odd little museums, like when Heather and I went to New Orleans, we went to,
Oh, the
God,
murder
what was that? That
museum.
Museum of Death or whatever. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, actually, I have the card. That was New Orleans,
That was
Museum
so
of Death,
fun.
New Orleans.
Oh,
And that was an excellent, well done museum. Same with the one in LA. Do they have a daycare there?
at the sex museum? You probably don't want to leave your children there. Just saying.
If they do, I wouldn't leave them there.
Why would
Um,
you do that?
but that was a really
Also, not at the
well
murder
done
museum.
museum because it was also like it was a history of sex in the United States, and it was also talking about
Ooh,
how sex was looked at as like a, especially for women, it was looked at as like a very medical thing in early American history. And there was a lot of thought on, God, this, maybe I shouldn't say, there was a lot of thought on if you wanted to successfully have children, the woman was not going to get pregnant unless she had an orgasm. And if women didn't have orgasms regularly, they would go insane.
it's
And
true. I'm just gonna say that's not
Heather's
false.
like, yeah, that's actually accurate.
That's actually true.
And so, um, like a general practitioner or doctor, many of them
Would manually
helped women
stimulate?
have orgasms
Yes.
and that like they went to a doctor for treatment.
Yeah. Can you imagine that today? Like them like, we're gonna just get you off, okay? And they
Right.
were like, okay, it's just a
But
doctor.
it wasn't, and we think of like that as a really repressed time, but that wasn't really a taboo topic then. That was
Exactly.
considered like a medical condition
Oh my God,
that
though.
needed to be cared for. And
The
we look at it now, we're like,
I think it's kind of sketchy. You kind of wonder if the doctors were like, "This will help you," and you're like, "I have a backache," and they're like, "Yeah, we need to like manually stimulate you. You're like, is this for me or is it for you?
But and so women, if they were, if they were high strung or they had a nervous condition or they were depressed or anything like that, all of those areas that we consider mental health areas were considered treatable by orgasms.
I'd say, why not try? Like
Right.
if
There's
you're
like,
having, it couldn't hurt. Like try some orgasms, and if that doesn't work, we'll try something else.
right. But and so you look at it and you're like, okay, I mean, you kind of giggle when you're like, oh, I'm going to go to this museum, but no, it was a really well done museum.
I
And
love
their gift
that.
shop
Oh, I bet you they
is
had some
on
cool shit.
fire. Yeah.
So definitely, Travis, go check that one out. That would be a fun
Yeah.
one. But maybe don't bring your
Might not
kids
want to
there.
take the little kids, but
Also, I would say don't take your kids to the murder museum. That scared the shit out of me. The Museum of Death in New Orleans.
that actually was that. Yeah,
That was
actually
about the
a little.
scariest thing I've ever seen. And then I went to the bathroom and thought I was going to get murdered in the bathroom.
Yeah, there's like, come with me. They're gonna murder me in there.
There's a little tiny door in the bathroom.
There's a murder door.
There's some little short person that comes out with an axe. I wouldn't have been surprised at all. So that's it, though. So anyway, now we're really over time. I hope you guys all have a great week. Don't get murdered. Go get an orgasm. Grow your vegetables. Eat the vegetables. Take care of yourself. We love you guys. And soon we will be having a road special in Atlanta, and we'll have some hot dogs, and you can watch that too. So have a great week. We will see you all later. Love you guys. Mwah.